Hello humans and extraterrestrials. So firstly, yes, this is a different angle. I'm trying something new because I feel like so many people who do booktube videos have their shelves in the background and I only really have these little ones, so I can't really do that without them just sort of poking up, so I thought might as well sit on the floor. Plus it means if I like this and I continue with it, it means when I'm doing like book hauls or whatever, I can actually pick them up without being like um so yeah, today I'm doing the newbie book, I think it's called that, the newbie, yeah, Booktube Newbie Tag, which I've seen a few people doing it. I will link to the one I originally saw down there if I remember. If I don't, please comment and tell me to do it because I might have forgotten. But yeah, so here are the questions. There are 10 questions. Hopefully we'll just get through it. So the first question is, why did you start this channel? Well, I originally started this channel as if you've known me for a while, or more than like 3 months, you'll know that I started this channel originally for music and for covering songs and for writing original songs. And I still love doing that stuff, and I still sometimes film videos of that stuff. Depending on when you're watching this, I'm either close to uploading a video of me singing or have just done. But I started this originally for music, but the reason I started doing book stuff is because I don't know, I love reading and I love the booktube community. I've watched stuff in the booktube community for a long while and I really enjoy that content, but I didn't want to like do a whole new channel and then it go nowhere, because I've done that with other stuff before. Even my second channel is a bit of a flop, to be honest. It kind of mostly vlog stuff and like occasional low effort content, but I don't know, because I wanted to is the real reason. The second question is, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to YouTube? Well, booktube rather. I don't know, because booktube is very wide now and I don't know how to answer that without sounding really pretentious, like, oh, no one's done anything before but me. But I think, and if I'm wrong here, let me know, because I do know a few people that stray from this. I think booktube can be a very loud and sort of books community, which is fine, and I know a lot of people love that stuff, but it's not really my cup of tea. I far prefer to be just like, hey, so here are some books. Like, I think a lot of the time booktube community is very loud and big and not abrasive but enthusiastic, and again, a lot of people appreciate that. However, I like a more chill approach, and I think that's what I'm gonna bring, as well as plants in the background, which I think many do already. But yeah, okay. The third question is, what are you most excited about for this new channel? And just clarify again, not new channel, I'll just say new era of my channel, I guess. I love talking about books, and like about specific books, and also just about books as a subject as a whole. And if this has any sort of popularity, then that will mean I will hopefully get to talk to more people about books, because a lot of my friends are far more into TV and film, which is fine. TV and film's also good. But I know very few people who are reading the books I'm reading in real life, because I live in a rural place anyway, but I'm not close to a bunch of booktube people who are talking about all the hyped books, and I'm excited about those books, and I have those books, but I don't have anyone to talk to them about, really, because I also most of the people I know are the people that if you recommend something to them, they will never see it, you know, like telling my mother to watch Shadowhunters ensured that she would never go near it ever again. But I really enjoy talking about that stuff, and it's really nice to talk to people about it. So being part of the community is that. The fourth question is, why do you love reading? Now, this is an impossible question to answer. Why would you put this on me? But I love reading because I don't know. I think it just sort of, I love going into another world, because when someone does, Like when someone does a really, 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 really good job. For example, Riley Redgate writing Final Draft. Chef's kiss. Brilliant content. And it sucks you right in, and you don't know, and you're sort of fully into it. It's just, I don't want to say an escape, because that sounds like my life sucks, which it doesn't. I apologise. My focus is being horrible today. It's like, I get it that, like, it properly pulls you in, and it's not out of like, oh, I hate my life. I mean, life sucks sometimes, but I'm a human, so what do you expect? But it's so nice to just be able to be like, this person put in so much work, and you can see it. Like, you can tell how much this person cares, I think, as well. And it's just really entertaining. I'm easily entertained, and things are entertaining, I guess. I don't know. That's about the majority of my answer. The next question is, what book or series got you into reading? Now, I'm one of those people that when I was like small, when I was very small, I got into, let me find one. I used to read as a child, and things like The Worst Witch by Jill Murphy, I used to love. And Adventures of a Wishing Chair by Enid Blyton. But after that, I kind of stopped, because I went from the ages of about 7 to 11. I kind of didn't read anything at all. And then I got into the show first, which I know is very bad booktube etiquette. But I then got into, if you can see, The Mortal Instruments by Cassandra Clare. This is my pristine copy, because I remember reading the first book in the library, and then I bought the whole series. So this one has no marks on it. The spine hasn't even been broken, but the rest of them have. I love this book. And these are the lovely covers, because if you can see, it's this picture all the way along. But yeah, those books, mostly due to, like, I don't know, I really fell in love with them. I love fantasy, and I love fantasy since I was a child. But this series, that gosh darn freaking series, completely made me fall in love with books again, for the first time in years, and it was a magical experience. And I know now a lot of people have a lot of things to say about Cassandra Clare. I don't really care. Like, it's the same with like the whole the author is dead thing. That's how I feel about it, because I bought these books before I knew about any of the stuff that has been said about her. Same with Harry Potter and all of that. I still love these books, even if she isn't the nicest person, you know? And I loved the show, and the show made me feel so much. But I remember reading these books in like 3 weeks, which for me is a lot. 6 books in 3 weeks, especially when some of them are long as heck, that's a lot. That was a lot, especially for like a 13-year-old me. So yeah, that. And also this book, which I have a feeling if I read it now I would hate it. This is The Eternal Ones by Kirsten Miller. This is a book about, it's about reincarnation, which I think was what dragged me in, because I have, for a young age, and continually do, even though I'm not a religious person, believed in reincarnation. And if people want to know more about that, I will talk about my experience with that, if people want to hear more. But yeah, because of past experience and things, I have believed in it for a long time. This book is about that. I thought it was beautiful. Again, probably if I read it again now I'd hate it, but at the time, got me into it, man. So yeah, moving on from that question, is what questions would you ask your favourite booktubers? No, I don't know, because I don't, and this is going to sound really horrible, like really sort of arsey, but I don't idolise YouTube people really in the way that a lot of people do, in the way that I used to. I used to like, would die if I ever met Dan Howell, saying that I still probably would, but out of different reasons than, fangirl, like that's not why anymore. But, you know, like when it comes to, I love like Ariel Bissett and Jessie the Reader and, oh my goodness, what's her name? That's really annoying. Another booktuber whose name has completely left my mind. Books and Lala's one, Drinking by My Shelf. There's lots that I love, and I think are awesome people. But I don't know, I would just speak to them like normal people and be like, hey, how are you? You know, like, I don't know. I'd probably just talk to them normally, to be honest with you. Question 7 is, what challenges do you think starting a booktube channel would be the hardest to overcome? Frankly, I know that my music videos do better, if we're being honest. I know that my singing and my playing of ukulele or my instrumental music, like me doing music stuff does better than my talking stuff does. I'm well aware of that, and it's going to be a curve. I know that. But I think this isn't about that for me, because I'm never going to be monetized. I'm never gonna, be like a big YouTuber who does it for a living, because that's on shaky ground now anyway. This is a hobby for me and I enjoy it, so I don't know. I think also a little bit there are certain expectations to be reading the new books and all of the new, like, I own a lot of books. For example, even Alex Deschooling Society is a book that I've never read that I really want to read. And it's not exactly the most popular on Booktube because people don't care. People want to read fun fiction about love stories or whatever, which I do as well. I do. But I don't know, I think there's often expectations about, oh, you're on Booktube, you should read all these books that are coming out now. Which I also want to do. But money, like I don't have that much money to spend on all these books and then never read any of them. But yeah, I just think there's expectations. I don't really care if I don't hit them anymore, because that's beyond me, I think. My next question is, when did you start reading? Again, I started reading for the first time when I was very, 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 very young. Like, again, when I learned how to read, I read books. And another one I'll show you that I read at maybe 7, 8. Is Enid Blyton's The Family Collection, which was given to me by a family member, which contains the Caravan Family, Saucy Jane Family, Seaside Family, Polestar Family, Queen Elizabeth Family, and the Buttercup Farm Family. Love this. Fully, it's actually relatively, it's not as long as I think it is actually. It's probably only 510 pages. Damn, I thought this was longer than that. But it's also relatively big print because it's children's books. I love that. But again, for a few years I kind of, between the ages of maybe 8 and, probably 8 and 12, I guess, probably, just didn't really read. And then things like Shadowhunters and The Eternal Ones and Percy Jackson and things got me into it again. The 9th question is, where do you read? Everywhere is the answer to that question. I've made a habit of reading for at least 20 minutes every morning, as I have, not immediately when I get up. When I will immediately get up, go and get myself a cup of tea or coffee, come back and read for 20 minutes. And that has made it so that I spend every day at least reading a little bit, because life is hectic and busy. I am in school, I am a student right now, so I am revising for exams and hoping they don't get cancelled because of COVID-19. So they have taken my top priority. However, I still want to read and I still love reading and all of that. So I read everywhere. I read there. I also read on buses when I can. I read in between classes. When I get to class early and I don't know what we're doing, I'll read a page. Anywhere I can. I also love audiobooks, so I will listen to books when I'm tidying my room, when I'm doing art, if I'm not listening to D&D stuff. Any chance that I can is really the answer there, although, as everyone does, occasionally I will just go, no, F it, and play a stupid game on my phone, because I try not to give in to temptation, but occasionally I'm like, oh, let's play Tetris. I know I am that person, you're right. Tetris, we love Tetris. And the last question is, what kind of books do you read? YA mostly. If you couldn't tell by my, oh Jesus, can't tell by my youth, I didn't mean that in a gross way, I am just literally a student, so yeah. I tend to read mostly fantasy or like tend to read like urban fantasy and fantasy, and also occasional realism and sci-fi. Like I tend to stick in that spectrum, which I'm well aware is a wide spectrum, but I'm not a huge fan of, I don't tend to read a lot of like historical fiction or classics, although I do have a few, and I do have a few more that I want to read, but I tend to just stick with, I don't know, because people ask me that and I'm like, I don't know, I just read what I want to read, what sounds interesting to me. I like sci-fi and fantasy, and I like urban fantasy and sci-fi realism and all that jazz. I'm along that spectrum, I think. So yeah, that is all 10 questions answered. So let me know in the comments if you're a Booktube channel, let me know and I can check you out, or tell me what books you like to read, or why you love to read, or any of those questions. Talk to me in the comments about books, because I like to talk about books and I would like to talk to you in the comments about them. So yes, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please remember, drink your water, eat your vegetables, and peace out, I guess. Oh, and also tell me if you like this background more than the other ones. Bye.